Andromeda. Cold, and the lake spills midnight all over the beach. Offshore, the moon drops anchor and its cargo of stolen light. Tonight it feels like there's no one everywhere. Just these two friends, a barred owl, and the rest of the world gone missing. We think this dark is a human thing, as if our breath exhales the circumstances of our dusky hearts, old thoughts and the tide pound in the ear's small skull. Above us, Andromeda, that chained lady immutable, watches as she has always watched, as she always will. And there is one among us who knows this, knows that humankind will drag itself one day to the ground. She says nothing, and the whole night listens, her great wings stroking the sky. Belfast Cemetery. Once all was possible. Strength still in young bones bending to chores or stretching to ease. Once the future was a tingle, a turn in the belly. Then tomorrow was a cedar grove that smelled like the word green when no one was listening with more than the ears. Now, here you are, protected by the packed earth. If a bird nests this spring in the shadow of your headstone, grandfather, you both are absolved for not giving a damn. Strange, colorful creatures, the birds and the dead, both go to where longing stops. The rest of us, bone-heavy, awkward, go back to where it begins. Finding out. The evening sky is freezing over, etching up like a February window. These days, my son has moods like that. They move across him the way ice follows itself across a puddle. When he was younger, he wore the winter skin of shallow puddles on his boot soles, the crunch like wood chimes in his ears. Then he placed his mouth to frozen panes, breathed a hole big enough to let the world in. Now, an almost adolescent, on his walk from school to home, breath blown back in his face like a kiss, he knows no puddle will hold his weight anyway. It used to be half the fun, finding out. For my daughter, visiting the house of her ancestors. Where you are tonight is a new world. You will unfold it for me when you return, my carefully wrapped childhood. And what will you make of it, your words full grown inside your head? The lilac beneath that window you look from taught me purple, those raspberry bushes sharp and sweet. I say Ireland, and something inside gives way, like the soft thud into sleep or the gallows door. Saying the word home in a crowded room is like saying the word fire. Thoughts riot, each one off in its own direction. No one anywhere really speaks the same language. This afternoon arranges itself by the window with such precision. The pine tree just so. It has no idea how foolish it looks, all dressed up, nowhere to go. Some days are like this. You want them to fill with more than themselves. You want a sinkhole, a bee swarm, a solar eclipse. But it's not the day's fault. Though you want to shake it like a lazy child, your arms ache with the strain of holding them tight to your sides. You're not sure, but you think it's days like this when women go quietly to their rooms and pack, jump right out of their lives, stand in bus stations and airports, saying their names are Gertrude or Annabella Marie when they're Susan or Jane. You think, too, if just one new bird would land in your garden, one almost like a junco but not. If she would spend the afternoon or even the hour, then all would be well. All would be well with all of the women. You think this and you begin to watch. You begin for the first time this afternoon to really watch. Wharf sitting. The stars would come out, but this fog won't let them. The wharf, roped loosely, drifts a few inches into the night. I'm out, though, but it's not enough. Too small of freedom, this fogged wharf, 1 foot in water and a mouthful of choked-back sound. If you scream into fog, it swallows. You can stand, spine arched, fists, and shout your whole story into the dark. No echo, just a letting go and gone. My grandfather said the Irish have known this forever. All over that small country, fog bites off the angry ends of piers. Fishermen learned this first, he said, and being young, I believed. Now, years later, this wood beneath me rocks the rhythm of a lake, and on this wharf, on that pier, on dock after dock after dock, women.